J Squad.
We gotta find.
Jesus, I gotta get it together.
Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find.
Yo, what is going on? A bro had a chance to call me a grammar Nazi and didn't even take it. I mean, I think Canadian is worse, honestly. Uh, Sorry, angry Canadian. Hope you didn't hear that too. What is going on, everybody? How are y'all doing tonight? It's been a while since I really did some drama, and I think it's my first love when it comes to streaming. So we're gonna get back into it today. I'm gonna go back down to I think 1 day of gaming stream. Because I'm enjoying playing Chronos, but I love just getting on here and yapping. Let let me see if I can get some shit together though. I was trying to get stuff ready for stream, and I am just an old ass man trying to get shit done. Times have changed too. My daughter took on an extra ballet uh, class that she got into, so my wife's coming home a little bit early later from that, and I should have known better and started getting my son. Ooh, excuse me. Started getting my son to sleep earlier. So if you don't know I mean, I don't know how any of y'all know. Y'all follow the shit religiously, even give me stuff that I haven't seen. Some of y'all in there, but Ghosts of Yotai has been just an absolute shit show for the anti-woke. I mean, they're just like unwilling to bend, like they're just making shit up at this point. Like you could I thought Assassin's Creed was bad with a lot of the stuff that they were coming up with, right? It was really like wokey arguments on appropriating Japanese culture and things like that. And I think there were criticisms to be made with with it, but or with some of the stuff. But like when they were like one of my biggest things about Assassin's Creed is like I don't know why they wouldn't think I don't know why an anti-woker wouldn't think that uh, being a big black man beating the shit out of a bunch of tiny Asians would be a bad thing in America. You know what I'm saying? I've said it before, but you got to go with what you got to go with. Let me get this into the Discord since I'm all running late today. And that should be it. That should be what's going on. Let's go here. Let's see if I can get this game to work that I wanted to put in the background. It wouldn't let me pick which window to play in, which is trying to use the window that I use for everything else. Launcher settings. Nope, that's not it. Get back to playing some games while I stream. This not go into windowed. We might not be playing this game while we do it. Not sure if you saw, but I pissed off Rev so hard that I finally made a cameo appearance in one of his videos. Yeah, I was gonna say that. If you got that one, send it to me. I haven't watched the video yet. I am pulling up Rev's video on Asmongold and all of that mess. What the fuck is going on here? Windowed, you'll be able to display and a window at the chosen resolution. Refresh rate desktop. Are we just fucking kidding me here? No, not that. It's not even showing up in game capture at this point. We may just be going straight into RimWorld. And fuck Stellaris. I already plan on making a response video to him, so I'll send that to you instead once I'm done. All right, I can deal with that. I can go with that. Well, if you want, I can watch his video now tonight, and then watch your video on it as a response. But it's up to you. Tutorial. Like, I really can't pick the window that I want this fucker to be on. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, homie? All right, we're just gonna play the greatest game on earth. So, fuck you, Stellaris. Where are you at? Where are you at, baby? There you are. There you are. I got a game still going in here anyway. But yeah, I mean, it's been like some of the most brain dead takes that I've ever seen. Like the stuff about that Grums was going on. Well, other people too. I'm like, oh my god, the mini games. You go fishing, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Mini games have been in gaming since as long as I can remember. In many cases. What do we got? What do we got? Did you just send it to me? Yeah, feed the pig. There it is. Yeah, thank you, thank you. For anyone who might happen to be new in the chat, like the video if you haven't liked it, subscribe. I am at 92, on my way to 100. I even have a new cool little alert thanks to friend of the channel Damage Sector. I'm still going to get the game and play it somewhere around the next month. Nice, nice. Well, see, I got to wait a whole year for it, thanks to uh, the normal people that come around with it. What was I looking for? There we are. RimWorld options, graphics. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Borderless. What do you mean? Oh, that's what it is. Boop. See how easy that is? Just see how simple that was, Stellaris. That's all you had to do. And then that goes full screen. Keep. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Now we just got to get the game to actually show, and then we'll actually get this party started. Holy shit. Amateur hour up in here. No, not Asmon Go. What? Oh, there it is. Boop. RimWorld. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh, it's probably because it's... Boom. Boom. There we are. There we are. We'll go into one of the ones I've always been doing. I haven't touched this in a while, so it'll be good. We'll get in here and we'll do it. I find it interesting that everyone is trying to figure out the sales data. Yeah, I mean, the thing is there's no good information that says about the sales. There was one guy that I saw that Endymion, maybe we'll pull that up, tried to use as a reference, saying that like, oh, it wasn't doing well in physical sales. But if you went one comment down in the guy's thing, someone asked him a question about that, and he was like, well, no, it doesn't mean that physical sales are like the end all be all. In the last 5 years, physical sales have gone down dramatically, right? So it's like he wants to show the top, but he doesn't want to show the rest of it. And all you had to do is take a second to even just look at it. Where are we going? There we go. There we go. Actually, we might bring up that indie one real quick. Endymion. I have been active today. Boom, boom. Where are you, Endymion? It's been 8.8, 8.4 on Metacritic by users. I think it's going to be stuck at 8.4 by the end of the month. Yeah, Metacritic is always such an odd metric to use because anyone can go in there and put a score on it. It's just, why even, like, it can get hate mobbed as much as it can do anything else. We'll see. Like, to me, it's gonna depend on people enjoying the game and sure what the sales look like for the company itself. But I don't think personally that they're going to do bad. What are their numbers going to look like? I have no fucking clue. Unlike some people like our buddy Gay Viper, who the day after the article came out, which we'll go over here. Here we go. Boom. Watch that, but we're going to pop into here first. So we're going to start with the final boss of the retarded anti-wokes today. The biggest retard on the internet. Asmongold. Actually, that's not even the right one. That's not what I want to start off with. Come here. Here it is. Here it is. Ooh, the wife's bringing me gummy bears. Or she ate them all. Nope, she gave me gummy bears. It's their first controversial game. It really is out of it. And like the big controversy in the beginning was female lead on the second game. And then after that, it was the female actor who really only has to say her lines on screen is woke. And now she's Antifa. So if you haven't been watching, boom. The anti-woke, or Asmongold, decided to weigh in on the Sucker Punch employee that got fired. They've been trying to say it's not a joke this whole time. Clearly what she said was a joke, something along the lines of, I hope the assassin's name is Mario, so he can know that he got his bro Luigi, right? Not all that funny a joke, but still a joke nonetheless. Of course, the anti-wokers don't like it when you tell dark jokes about people on their side of the aisle. So Asmon made his huge list. Smash stole my gummy bears. Ugh. I would have to go after Smash full force on that. Gummy bears are sacred. I'll tell you a military story maybe later on about people taking my gummy bears and how me and my buddy got revenge. But let's go ahead and listen to Asmongold's take after this new take he has since the Sucker Punch lady got fired, right?
And I made a video about them, and it turns out that they got fired. They got fired from their job. Too bad.
Already glorifying firing somebody for a joke. Now, there is an argument to be made that they had who they worked for all over their social media. So in a way, they are representing Sucker Punch, right? So it is up to Sucker Punch's as itself if they want to take the heat for her or if they want to, fire them. Normally, I would edge on the way of not firing, but I think if you're representing your company, people are going to take what you say as what the company is saying, right? That's pretty much anywhere you go. Now let's keep going.
Bad, huh? Wow. What a shame for you. And also, here's the important thing, okay? I want to make sure that people remember this, is that eventually you'll get a new job. And when you do, I might just make another video and contact that employer too. Now, why would I do that?
Thank you. I was not trying to chew my gummy bears while y'all were on camera, so I muted. All right, let's start this rage out again. So anyway, this guy says even though she got fired for her comments, he will take his massive streamer channel, largest quote unquote political streamer on the internet. He will find your new job, make a video on it so that his fans will go there and get you fired. So it's one thing to say something about a video or about a joke or something like that. I consider that free speech. You've heard all of my arguments over free speech and all of that jazz. But to admit live that you are just going to spend as much time as possible threatening someone's career and making sure they can never work again, that pisses me off. That is probably one of the most, absolutely unhinged behavior. This should probably get him banned, personally. Because I doubt this fits YouTube's terms or Twitch's terms. Will it be a permanent ban? No, he's their cash cow. He's the largest streamer that's out there. Though, and he's not monetized on there, so they can't take the money away from him, right? He'll just take his massive audience over something else. Yeah, it's actual harassment, an actual case of harassment. Or at least a case admitting that you will harass this person till the day they die, right? It's over their speech. Regardless if you like their speech or not, it's over their speech. So, yeah, absolutely unhinged behavior. Let's see what else he says about this garbage.
For fun. I enjoy it. I like it.
For fun. I like making sure that people lose their jobs because I'm so rich, it doesn't matter to me. I've never worked hard a day in my life. I know he's had like one job, but this is fucking insane and retarded.
It's a nice pastime for me. Fuck him. That's why. Yeah, make an example about him. Yeah, exactly. That's it.
It's also stupid. Asmon only got big for streaming, the easiest of jobs. Agreed. Why do you think I do it? No. I mean, he played games and stuff like that. He was just like a YouTube gamer. But what's happened with a lot of these guys is they start moving into other content. He started doing what I do, reactionary content. And which is fine, and he pumps them. Yeah, he's not even a gamer anymore. Well, we'll see. Apparently he is. I've got some statements made by him that kind of contradict what he's saying about Ghosts of Yotai and everything else beforehand. So, well, what he's saying about this particular person that he wants to chase down. I legit hope that nobody makes him an example and sues him into bankruptcy. I mean, like I said, I'm a big free speech guy, but like I was talking in Discord, you're talking about like you're in the realm of silencing someone else's speech and their livelihood and admitting that you're going to harass them and make a video on them. And when he says make a video, he knows what's going to happen. He's going to have massive amounts of his fans go after that person, right? It's not going to be him writing some letter. It's going to be hundreds of people harassing whatever company this dev works for. I stopped watching Asmongold's YouTube after his political turn. His gaming videos were actually pretty fun, and a lot of the time. Yeah, I've watched some Asmongold videos before, and they're fine. Even his reaction stuff was okay, but once he turned political, which, by the way, he used to say all the time he would never go political. He didn't want to be political. He wasn't smart enough to be political. And yet here we are today. He also had some very progressive views on things, like very progressive views and even liberal views. So it's unhinged the way he's just turned over to this attention whore who is just looking to suckle off of the Trump administration and say what I don't think it's the Trump administration. I think he is so audience captured. Like he needs the attention from talking to these people. That's why he'll never quit streaming. Not because he's rich enough, because he talks about not spending his money. He lives in a cheap, rundown, nasty house. he needs the attention. That's all there is to it.
And Honkai Star Rail canceling a voice actor for supporting Troy. No, I didn't see that at all.
Oh, I'm getting to that, Red Stain. Don't worry.
I heard something about Dr. Ratio, but I don't know the whole story about it. And yeah, it turns out that my joke didn't make the game do any worse. How do you know that? Like, what a stupid comment to make. How do you know that it didn't make the game do worse whenever you don't have a use case in a control group for the game not doing worse? Like,
what does a use case have to do for this? The reason that you could say that she doesn't know it, and she might have inward connections that are saying it's doing well. She did work for the team, right? She probably still has friends within the company. But what use case would you say for it? The real thing is there's no evidence either way to say the game is doing good or bad.
and I made
And that's the end of that because they didn't finish it. So anyway, is this the one? No. We're gonna pull up the contradicting one first. The contradicting one first. Boom. So, not even when was this one made? October 6th at 5:20 a.m. So this was first. 2:44 p.m. on October 6th. Let's see what he has to say here about the same dev that he says he's going to follow. This to me is while not definitive proof, a pretty good idea of how audience captured he is. He said, all right, we'll go. Let's play it.
This after what the actress said? Well, I wanted to. I don't care what the actress said. Why the fuck would I give a shit about that? Like,
I don't care what the actor said. And then how many hours later did he say? Like 3 hours later? He said, yeah, I'd get her fired again. Audience captured. Yeah, he mainly does what his chat wants. He even stares at the chat after making certain comments to see if his chat approves. If they don't, he almost always backtracks. Yeah, I've seen that. I've also seen him stare at the chat while something is playing or after someone's made a comment that you would normally pause at. He'll stare at chat to see what chat's saying so he can pull an argument from it. So let's keep going.
Why do you think I give a fuck? Like, you think I care about like what actors? I don't give a fuck, bro. I listen to Kanye West, bro. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm just trying to play the game, man. Like, if it's all right, it's not personal. Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't give a fuck about that.
Completely flips tail. Not even a while ago. And then while we're on Asmon, I saw this one where apparently he makes a statement about the American population and who should be voting.
If I had my way, I would disenfranchise 85% of the population instantly. I would take away their right to vote, and they would be saying after 10 years, 20 years, thank you.
I guarantee you they wouldn't. I guarantee you all the vets in that you disenfranchised would go into their fucking huge gun safes, pull out their weapons, and take care of that problem so that the people could vote again. This idiot has no idea what he's talking about. I was also never been a fan of people telling others what they need to support or spend their money on. Agreed. You can give your criticisms for any games and things like that, but coming up with stuff and saying you shouldn't buy this game because the actor is woke or said something about Antifa. Yeah, I saw that one, and it's so funny given that he should be part of that 81%, 100% low IQ, dumb takes.
Thank you so much for removing this burden from us. We no longer have to worry about this. We don't have to deal with this anymore. You're just going to...
It's not a burden for us. I mean, it's barely even a right anymore because the people we vote in do whatever the fuck they want. Think of all the veterans that voted in Donald Trump, right? All of the veterans and friends of mine that I know voting in Donald Trump just for him to try to slash 80,000 workers from the VA. He is, yeah. Everyone thinks they would make a perfect dictator. Yeah, that's kind of the whole point of the dictatorship is everyone thinks that if my plans were enacted, it would be perfect. And most of the time, and in fact, I would say all of the time, it doesn't go that way. It either is you can't make those things happen because they're unrealistic, or someone assassinates you and takes over control of the dictatorship and turns it into a mass hellhole. Well, we'll do a third one. Or you become the mass hellhole and start putting people into camps and having military police forces blocking the roadways and marching forward and attacking people and pulling people off the streets, you know, the normal stuff. With how crazy people get when they think their guns might be taken away, you'd think he would realize how bad it would be for him for you threatened to take away their vote. Dude, there are a ton of gun owners that are, I mean, even most military men and most gun owners that I know, which you have edge cases, are very, very keen on their rights, right? And the right to vote is a very fundamental part of the United States, of democracy, of our republic, and our hegemony, because, you know, we're the best. That's all I got to say.
Have the people that are in charge deal with the issues about getting rid of the bottom 2%? Absolutely, yes.
Dude, they would just send one incendiary grenade into his house, and all the trash would light up instantly.
And so that's it. That's what I would do. There are too many dumb people out there.
Agreed. One is sitting in front of me right now.
And back in the day, we used to have presidents like Thomas Jefferson. And now we have presidents like George W. Bush. Nope.
And, okay. Every president has had some problems. That you're also talking about a much smaller United States, right? And there were tons of problems that have happened in smaller governments. The U.S. hegemony is slowly coming to an end, though. And no, I'm not sorry for speaking it. Trump is definitely doing his best to completely kill all of that power we had inside. We could still take out all of Canada with maybe a handful of rednecks. So suck it, Simon.
Nope, not anymore. Think about how close Kamala Harris came to winning the presidency, and then tell me that democracy is a good idea. Oh, we got.
Jesus fucking Christ, this guy's a moron.
Do something about this quick. Things are going to get real bad. Oh, yeah. And, yeah, they're dumbass, but disagree. I tell you that is, and the thing is that, guys, clip it. I'm ahead of the curve. I'm just ahead of the curve.
I may be on autism, but I don't think you're the head of the curve on anything. Sure, dude. Just remember who are the ones training most of your troops.
Perfect.
I ain't never been trained by no Canadian. I've seen some Canadians, and I'll give props to some Canadians. As long as nothing has changed, Canada holds the longest sniper shot in the world. But bro, we Americans, we'll handle you any day. I'll give some rednecks. I'll get a handful of rednecks, several hundred pounds of tannerite, and sip them out. They got to be from the Appalachians though, because they got to match your country at least a little bit. Appalachians, them boys from out there. Whew. You mean the other way around? Yeah, that's yes. Asmon would be the first one to be sent to the mines. the mine coal or pick fruit. Yeah, that's the thing is like we go into this thing where there's a dictator and he's like, oh, we kicked out all the Mexicans and no one's picking the fruit or building our roofs anymore. So guess who's going to do it? All of these influencers who just sit online and do nothing but talk into the mines with you. I would have to look that up. I don't believe you train. I believe you do some training with, like I've done training with the Royal Irish Rangers. I've done training with, well, Djiboutian army, but that's a whole different story. French, I've done training with French. We train with people all over the world and do stuff like that, but I don't know that you're training us because we're still using the same, at least on the infantry side, the same Battle Drill 1 Alpha that we've been using since World War II because it just works.
This is going to be a bigger conversation every year. It's going to be a bigger conversation, a bigger issue. And so too fucking close, yet way too close. And so just wait out. How people move up? Well, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It's not about that. It's about making sure that the government isn't run by retards. That's it.
I mean, the government's run by retards now. All of the yes men hired in by the Trump administration do next to nothing to fight against them. It's pretty much come to the point that not a single not a single I just lost the thing. Blame Canada. Blame Canada. I lost my train of thought. Like, not even people who I like respected as that were conservative guys just don't seem to speak out. There was a Brandon Herrera video I'd like to listen to that apparently he lost a lot of views, and I hope that's for different reasons. Yes men is not a good thing. There's nothing wrong with having people that would disagree with you. Yeah, the moment I knew that Trump wasn't a good president was the moment that Mad Dog, the Marine general who he put in charge of the Department of the Defense, quit. I instantly knew that this guy wanted yes men. In fact, I think it's because he didn't have yes men is why the insurrection didn't work. If he would have had yes men, then he would have probably become the president on the last election cycle. Oh God, Q and Sigma are going at it in Discord. I think I have Mad Dog Mattis patch. Do you really? That's awesome. A buddy of mine who was a Marine before he went to the Guard actually was sitting in like one of the closer rows, shook his hand and things like that. I have a lot of respect for that man. Joke's on you. I hate Trump ever since he announced he was running for office. I'll admit I fell for the Trump derangement syndrome. I had all the copes like, oh, we need a businessman running the country. He'll get everything together. And then I saw his presidency the first time and I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm ever going to vote for this again. So we've been on the ghosts of Yoida a little bit. I want to bring up one of the biggest I don't want to say liar because he tries to use the truth to push his narrative forward. He tries to use a bit of truth and misrepresent the entire situation. So the only Hypnotic. So Hypnotic made this post the other day on October 3rd. I personally don't hate Trump a lot. I'm not I'm not a fun, but I personally think he should just stick to business and stay out of politics. I agree. The problem I have with Trump is exactly what's happening right now. Once I really looked into the insurrection, which the insurrection wasn't the group of people that ran into the building. That wasn't the insurrection. That was the smoke screen for the insurrection. There were people put in key places around the electoral colleges that tried to change it. They were trying to push the narrative that the election was stolen so that Congress would vote in. I might be wrong with that. I always get Congress and the House confused. Anyway, that he would get voted in as president again because they weren't sure. He had already talked about it with his vice president at the time and everything else. Bro, is Hypnotic still relevant? Let's see. What's the name of that place? I legit haven't heard jack from this guy in forever. I mean, he still makes stuff. I think he's trying to push his anime channel, but I haven't really seen much on it. Like I said, I think he's one of the ones that was trying to move out of that quicker. He probably has you blocked or muted if he does. Oh, he blocked me a long time ago before I became really known by the anti-wokers. Before I shut Smash JT up in the middle of a thread, he had already had me blocked. Him and Smash both had me blocked. So someone saw my post about him. I have him muted. I rarely mute people, but that's just a personal thing with me because I can just ignore you or I can laugh at you. Let's see here. Why am I going through that? Y'all don't need to see. Was my son watching Goat Simulator on my account? Fucking my algorithm up. Hypnotic. I don't even know if it's called Hypnotic. The real Hypnotic. I guess I could go on here. Let's open up a new link. That's an interesting way to do it, actually. At Hypnotic. There it is. Oh, he's live right now. Live. So he still does stuff. I mean, he's got 540. That's not bad. This one, Sucker Punch goes silent. 5K views. Ugh. No, he's not really doing all that well. Not compared to what he's done in the past. Oh, he has you hidden on YouTube. Wargaming. Oh, does he have me hidden? How do you know? Canadians jumping in on the abuse allegations. Hearing requests on domestic violent restraining order. Search up Atreus or Smash JT. Oh, is it because he has me hidden so I can't see his channel? No, it comes. Oh no, he came up that time, but only one. That's weird. Maybe he does. That's fine. It's probably because he's afraid. So, all right, I'm going to give my view on this with this JDA stuff. I've seen the case information for his domestic violence and restraining order. Hearing on request for domestic violence restraining order. So here's my thing on this right now. The only reason how I know, I tried to chat on his stream once and another person verified that my chats weren't going through. Also, I still can't believe the GOP put a sombrero on Marcus and the donkey of the Democrats. I was more cute and funny than insulting. Yeah, that's true. Though I have a problem with how unprofessional a lot of these accounts are lately. Like you're the government and you're making the United States look like a joke, right? So I want to do this real quick. Window capture. Where is it? Where is it? Boom. All right. I always see this come up with JDA, and I've never said anything really about it. And here's why. This is case information for a hearing, and it was held, right? I don't know if there's more to it or if it's cut off. This is just a case hearing. This doesn't mean anything. I had a very close buddy of mine who I've known forever. We've been in the military the same amount of time. I've seen him with all of his girlfriends. I've lived with him with all of his girlfriends. And he married this chick that I knew was probably going to be a problem, but I wouldn't tell him, right? So he was a cop at the time. She went crazy and started hitting him. In fact, it became pretty regular that he would hit him. And this guy he's not big, but he was a boxer. He did MMA. He could hurt somebody pretty bad if he wanted to. Well, one of the days that she was hitting him, he grabbed her by the shoulders or by the arms. That's true. That's true. And with that, the police were called. The cop that came down to his house, well, there was two cops, but the female cop was in a lead. And we're going to get a little misogynistic here, but she had like something to prove against abusive men, a kind of believe all women situation. And with that, he was arrested and lost his job, even though he was immediately acquitted because the officer lied on her report. He lost his job and all of that other stuff, but this was something that he did have happen. He had her try and put in a restraining order for him. It failed because it obviously wasn't domestic abuse on his side anyway, but he didn't try and do any charges. He also didn't really have any bruises from her and stuff like that. But he ended up this way. So anytime I see something like this just isn't proof to me. Anything could happen that causes this to happen. And I know in Florida, if you call about domestic abuse, someone's probably going to jail. The cops are going to come in and probably take someone to jail. But that's the way it is. I get it. Everyone passes it around. You try and get a dig on JDA. JDA is not, I'm not a big fan of JDA. I think a lot of his books are just look like AI slop. Much less, and then what is it? The news agency he is usually just kind of garbage. That's my personal views on JDA. And then that's also my view on that personal piece of information. The furry stuff seems much more legitimate. So anyways, let's get back to Hypnotic. Yeah, in Canadian, I have seen it passed around before. All right, let's fucking go. Where are we at? Also, who's getting accused of domestic abuse? Well, this is for it's the wife who's claiming it. Court, family law, disillusion with minor. Hearing on request. No, I don't know. Where's the name? Oh, versus John Delarose. Samantha seems to be the plaintiff in this one. John Delarose seems to be the defendant. And the hearing request on domestic abuse. So it sounds like she is the one who goes that way. I know you don't care about furries, Simon. It's fine. I don't really care about them either. I just think it's funny sometimes, right? Given the circles you're in. Oh, that guy. Yeah, John Delarose. All right, so let's get to Hypnotic and to why his channel is dying, in my personal opinion. So the PR storm is out in full effect for Ghosts of Yotai. Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't care about people's weird shit as long as you keep it to your weird shit behind, whatever closed doors or things you want to do. I don't want to know about your weird shit. Okay. So the PR storm is out in full effect for Ghosts of Yotai. This was a surprise to me because I've been watching a lot of the discourse around Ghosts of Yotai because I knew the anti-wokers were going to start pushing a narrative on it, right? So I wanted to see what that narrative was, and I wanted to see what was going on. So it's in full effect, pretty much saying, hey, everyone's doing it. PR storm, and it's mostly a nothing burger. It really is. I'm honestly shocked it happened so fast, but the level of nonsense that we're seeing is through the roof. This is the article that is currently being thrown around right now, trying to quickly shift the narrative of Yotai in its favor as soon as possible. Like, no, people just, the only thing that I have seen on, like, from gamers is them posting clips of their game, either gameplay or the fun little mini games, which is a whole different thing. They claim the game has sold over 1 million copies. No one's said that except for this shit article that you're going to bring up. Conveniently, just barely passing Tsushima's original number on day one. In this article, they claim that Yotai is loved more than Tsushima and that the community sentiment is strong, essentially. Did you see Manga Lawyer embarrassing himself using stolen gameplay? Yes, I did. Holy shit. That was hilarious. Why do that? I don't understand that. So this is Grums we're parroting? Yeah, it's Grums. He's parrot. No, I think he's the one that came up with this first, right? That they're saying that it's 1,000,000 ones. We'll get down to it in just a minute. Who is the source of the information? A random tweet. Hold on, let me silence all you guys doing your thing over here. So y'all ain't constantly hearing the beep, 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 beep. 8 hours. Y'all are silenced. Y'all are silenced. Also, if you haven't liked the stream, please like the stream. It helps me out in the algorithm. Working my way towards 90 or 100 subscribers. So if you really like what's going on, subscribe, hit that bell. Yeah, chirping in my ear. It's almost like I'll stay away from that joke for now. But if you like it, like the stream. Really helps me out. Subscribe if you like what you're seeing, and hit the bell. I do content like this all the time. I've been kind of irregular here the last couple of weeks, father and all of that jazz, so I stream mostly regularly. And if for whatever reason you're feeling super generous, no one has to do this, but I do have a link to Streamlabs where you can donate a little bit of money. Thank you all for who do watch me. I appreciate all of you. Now let's get back to this. So he's basically saying their source for this information, and who is there? Like when I think someone's talking about gaming news, I think they're talking about the big sources, IGN. Even if we're going to go the woke narrative, fuck me, why can't I remember their names? Who Smash goes after all the time. I need y'all to help me with this. Kotaku. I didn't need you. See, I didn't need you. It didn't come up yet. You think Kotaku might be pushing that message, right? Because they're the woke ones who want to go after it. None of the big articles are saying anything about the numbers. But he says it's from this 10K follower that everyone is pushing that narrative. You have accounts already spamming X. What accounts? I haven't seen anybody spamming online, right? And my algorithm's all over there. It's crazy how they say this shit and then have the Charlie Kirk curator. Yeah, it is. It's absolutely brain dead. It's just they're so anti-woke that they're woke now. Like they're just doing the exact same things you see over and over again. These accounts do the same thing with every controversial game, and yet 95% of the games they do this for end up failing. Could you give an example? Because the last game that y'all said was a flop was not a flop. I haven't seen y'all go after any major games in a while. Right now, y'all are going after an indie game for no other reason than SBI is attached to it. So, resulting in layoffs and even worse, studio closures. Layoffs were coming regardless of woke. The gaming industry has been saturated, bloated for years, and that's why they end up spending so much money on games, among other things. But hey, you have to do what you have to do at dunking the chud, or of dunking on the chuds. See, the thing is like my source. I made it the fuck up. The problem with these dunking on the chuds is I don't know anyone who's dunking on the chuds. Normally, we just point out how retarded you are and laugh at you. I guess that's dunking on you. And I guess that's all that matters. Ghost of Yuta has always been and here's the prepare yourself for if the game is good. Ghost of Yuta was always going to survive off of the back of Tsushima and sell copies. I'm extremely curious to see how this game performs in Japan personally, as Tsushima set records in Japan for a Western game, or even just games in general. Here's what I wonder, is if it doesn't beat Tsushima's records in Japan, are they going to call it a flop then? That'll be interesting to see. The game will obviously sell over 1 million copies pretty early on, but to claim that this so soon and use a level of sourcing just shows me that it hasn't happened yet, but they want everyone to quickly believe it, blah, 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 blah. They probably will. I mean, this game, Sucker Punch earned an award in Japan for Ghosts of Tsushima, right? Because of like historical accuracies and different things like that. I forget what it was, but it won awards in like the historical side. So Ghost of Tsushima has sold over 1 million copies. One thing I hate about this is he's clipped out the channel, like the news source, to kind of make it look like this is a different news source, because he does link it down here, but why make it look like that? And then he says, as of 2024, Ghost of Tsushima has sold over 13 million copies, which is a decent number for an exclusive title. But in that fame, it was also released on PC. Generally, response towards Yoita is more positive, hinting at good things to come. And then this is the post he pulls up, which I don't even know if this is the post that it was. Hearing 1.3 million sold on the first day for Yoita, even so slightly ahead of Tsushima's first 24 hours. I mean, this just sounds like, I don't know if anyone knows who this guy is, but it just sounds like a, random bot account. And then he adds to, yeah, sure, I don't know who the Dark Truth is. I gotta hate it when they preemptively use this. It will sell a bunch of copies. Yeah, it's their cope. It's their idea. Well, I said it was going to do numbers. But that doesn't mean it's not a failure or a flop or whatever it is. So here is the article. So let's go see who this article is. It's Tech for Gamers. I've only ever seen this website used by anti-wokers for dumb comments. I don't look at this website myself. Have you seen? I've been looking for a hat for my D&D game. I actually want to get this one right here. Here we go. We're ADHD is like in full scale. Was this the Stonecutter one? No, this isn't the exact one. It looks like this, but it's got a few other things on it because I'm creating a bad guy. Well, I created a creature that a guy that my players are making deals with, and he's got kind of that gambler attitude, thick accent, all of that jazz, thick Creole accent, uses cards, things like that. Sorry, little ADHD tangent there. And again, and here he goes again, making sure that it's, oh, but I said this as a caveat deep in my comments. And again, I'm all for rumor discussion and guessing what could happen in the future. Nothing wrong with that. However, they wrote this article knowing it was going to be used as fact. Did they? Because I don't see anyone but you citing this article. October 3rd, tech for Ghost of Yoda. Meanwhile, I'm enjoying Sonic Crossroads with my girlfriend. Nice, nice. I would have thought you were an incel, Simon. No, but I'm happy. I'm happy. I never got into any of the Sonic games, so I figured we'd go through this. Despite all the controversy, why do they do this? Oh no. You see what I'm talking about? What do you mean it was bombarded with dislikes? You can't see dislikes on you can't see dislikes on YouTube. That site that shows dislikes is incredibly inaccurate because it only takes into account the people who are set up with that website. Guess who goes to the website to be able to see dislikes? People who want to see dislikes and will dislike the video. Stop using this as a source. Any of these sites. There is no API that connects to... Oh, damn it. I didn't mean to do that. We'll do it again, though. It's okay. Boop, boop. I can't stand people using that. Like I will never use that site unless some API comes around. But if there's an API that comes around, why would they even do it? Yeah. You see how this shitter site, I'm convinced that this Tech for Gamers is a psyop. For a second, I thought Wargaming Dad was reading Hypnocuck's post about playing Sonic Racing with his girlfriend. Oh, nope. According to some new information, you see how it just like writes this? According to some new information, it's already sold over 1 million copies. But this is the information. According to Insider. Okay, so they're saying this dude's an insider. Let's do a little investigation. Working proudly with the entertainment sports industry. Stats crazy on release. Hearing 1.3. He's saying 1.3 now. 1.25. He's a sad, lonely boy. Has this guy ever done any... I don't know this guy's reputation. I've never heard of him, so I wouldn't use him as a source. But I will say that at least this shit article calls him some kind of, according to Insider, what's he an insider of, right? As of, because even in his channel, if you look here, working proudly within the entertainment and sports industry, where The entertainment industry is fucking huge if you're talking about gaming. The the sports industry is huge. So I don't know that this count is anything more than a shitter account that just says things like this. So all in all, this article is shit, and in my opinion, a psyop created by some anti-woker. I hope that's not pointing at me. Hello, because I was not referring to you. Nice. Oh, no. You talking about the sad, lonely boy? No, I know who you're talking about. I am happily married. About as happily married as you can be sometimes, because marriage is work. I told my wife, I said, I love you. You're the girl I always wanted to marry, and I want to be with you forever and I want to die with you. I was like, but if you ever divorce me, I'm not doing this fucking marriage shit again. It's for the fucking birds. So that's what we've seen so far. And I mean, if we're going to watch an anti-woker, you know me, I gotta watch my favorite channel. Oh, where did it go? Oh no, playlists. You're getting to see the inner workings. Docket.
This comes to us from Hypnotic.
Oh man, they need to drum up some drama to drive viewers to their half-baked vids in order to pay the electric bill every month. I mean, I think it's getting that way now. Like I've said before, when it comes to their streams, and Damaged kind of confirmed this as well. They make money off of their Oilers. They have at least a small parasocial audience that will constantly tip them throughout their entire stream. I've seen Smash JT even get like $1,000 in one stream. So it's, they're not, in my opinion, they're not hurting for money personally. I just don't think that their channels are surviving. And looking at the stats, their channels are not surviving. Looking at their channels, they're going down. They're not getting the revenue they were getting before. They're not getting, they may have memberships, right, that are still part of it, but they're definitely getting most of it through tips, I believe. Through tips.
Who says so?
So let's listen to my favorite guy. So I went to go watch Hypnotic's video on this, and it's literally him reading his own fucking post. Like, my source is me. So let's see what at least Smash has to say.
This comes to us from Hypnotic, who says, so the PR storm is out in full effect for.
Did you see Airbagged or someone else expose Smash's Steam activity and it looks rough? No, I didn't. I want to see that. Oh, if you've got that, or you've gotten content, I don't know if Grizzle's in chat. I sent you a DM to the site I used back to track super chats. Okay. Hold on. I'll take a look at. Oh, actually, yeah, that's a good thing to pull up when you talk about dying. We're talking about dying channels, so let's go ahead and take a look at their super chats. Was it on X, or was it in X, baby? Hold on, let me find them. Yeah, I would love to see that. Man who doesn't play game. Oh, there you go. There it is. Playboard. Let's bring this over here before we watch Smash. Jesus Christ, super chat revenue. Fuck me. I actually believe from what I've seen that Hypnotic, yeah, there he is. Oh, this is probably the website I need to start using. We're saving this. I like info like this. Last 7 days and super chat revenue right there. $4,344. He made $4,344 in a week. And his last stream yesterday, he made $488, right? This site is connected to API, correct? Damaged. So yeah, this is what I pinged you on Discord with it. All right, appreciate it. I mean, what motion do you they have now? The Ghosts of Yotai Outrage is not going to last them long. Best they move to Naughty Dog. I mean, that's probably going to be the next one, but you have a lot of the smaller guys and even Smash going after this smaller group. What were they called? Like Pine something or other, that I made the video on the game with. And I might start doing that on stream. No, I am going to start doing that on stream. I've decided we're doing Finding the Woke again, because I have an entire list of games that are woke that I can play through and we can really see. Yes, I've tested it by buying a super chat and it showed up in less than a minute. Okay. So like total revenue so far this year, right? 343,203. Now I'm sure this has to be before he takes his cut. You see it's been growing over the last few days. 3 days. So his views don't really go, but like look at the views growth rate. 12,000, 12,000, 12,000. Like they're not growing by any means. Keep in mind, it's just super chats, doesn't count memberships, gifted memberships. Yeah, I agree. I mean, like I said, he's got a very parasocial fan base, which is fine to me. I don't care. I don't mind having a parasocial fan base. I'm grooming all of you as we speak. But yeah, they're clearly making money. The idea that they're not is just it's not true at all. I've saved that so I can start looking at that more often. Let's see here. Y'all keep distracting me. Y'all have gotten my... I almost didn't eat supper when that Savvy information came out, which I don't know that I'm going to go over that tonight. We'll see. I kind of want to let it simmer and see if anything comes out of it. She's probably going to ignore it, but there it is. Oh yeah, you pinged me. Is this on Blue Sky? No, it's on X. Wait. Copy image link. Boop. Why did I do that? Why am I a moron? I hate Bing. I hate Bing so much. Yeah, did I? I don't think I did. Melissa Mercante is always in my DMs. Didn't you know? Okay, it's not gonna do it. Are we fucking crazy retarded? Crazy retarded. Did that bring it up? Nope, I'm gonna have to go back over to... Why does it always open up like that? I actually haven't talked to Alyssa in quite a while. One thing I find funny about the majority of gamers on here is that they don't game. Hold on. Woo! Let's quiet that down. Damn, look at all those hours. 14.1, Tomb Raider. I mean, I've got some low hours on some games, but fuck me. 5.9, 50. Is there a major game in here we can take a look? I think I saw one back there. I guess I could do it this way. Anything like, what are all these games? Black Myth Wukong, he only played 10 hours. What? I thought that was the game. Silk Song, he played 19.1 hours. Supposedly it's Smashes. Do they actually show? His fans grift. The problem I have is how. Oh yeah, Smash JT community. 700 games. Only how many game total do I have? He may have more than me. Oh no, I have actually very few games. I'm more closer together. So he has 700 games that he doesn't play. I think what's entertaining, he beat my game count by about 100. Nice. I only have about 300 games that I've owned, and then 515 DLCs. Now, I'm a Paradox player, so let that sink in. I think what's entertaining thought is that most of these guys can't quit the grift to take vacation and relax. They are hamsters on a wheel chasing money and have no ability to jump off. 102 games to be exact. Nice. So it's like you have this. Let's keep going. Oh, he played some Steam World. All right, I can go down for that. Stellar Blade, he played for 63 hours, so he probably beat that game. Outlast, couldn't make it more than 6 hours, too scared. Silk Song is still up in the air. Sonic 4, Episode 1. Paper Cut Mansion, 27 hours. 10 hours. Oh, he only played 7 hours of Assassin's Creed. Where was it? That's sad. It was such a good game. I wonder how many of these are like his kids playing. Human Resources Machine. He played Human Resources Machine for 7 minutes. Got it. Been there. Been there. Saints Row. Only 2 hours? 93 minutes in Atomfall. Come on, bud. 0 hours in Civ? Why'd you buy it? 0 hours in Grim Dawn, Killing Floor, Dead Cell. Come on, man. Some of these games are like fucking good. I sent you a direct link to his Steam profile, game info. All right. Let me. Oh, this is going to be much easier. Much easier. We turn this into some Smash Tent. I see. He likes Rocket League. 103 hours is, I guess, hard to say you liked. Okay, this and this are probably his kids. Gorilla Tag, yeah, that's probably his kids. Tempo Badass Elephant, probably his kid. Stellar Blade, his achievements. I don't really give a shit about achievements. I don't usually fulfill many of the achievements. Is there one for at least beating the game? Defeated 1,500 enemies. Defeated. Hey, it looks like you beat the game. Maybe. Collect all cans. Did he play this one on Steam or on stream? What else do we got in here? 49 hours of Never Alone. That seems like a woke game. Mostly positive. What else do we got down here? Yeah, he played Stellar Blade on stream on his gaming channel. So with that, it's like, okay, he did it for his job. 29 hours in Grand Theft Auto. I don't know that I have. I probably have more, but not by much. I only played Grand Theft Auto so long. 10 hours, 9.8. Dead Cell, Outlast. Dark Souls only made it 5.8 hours. Call of Duty, Black Ops, he doesn't play a lot of Black Ops. No Rest for the Wicked. I mean, a lot of these games he's just turned on and played for a little while. None of them, like, he doesn't look like he does a lot of gaming to begin with. Well, Buckshot Roulette, I can go with that. That's a simple, easy game. Well, no, that's 95 minutes, not hours. I apologize. 93 minutes. 60 minutes. This is just even Star Wars Squadrons. Rivals. 44 minutes in Rivals. Come on, Smash. 29 minutes in Battlefront 2. Do you think he just buys these so that they're on his Steam curator page, not realizing people will go in and look? Oh, really? Only 19 minutes in Sunless Sea. Now, I prefer Sunless Skies. I don't even think I own Sunless Sea. But this is a great series of games if you want to get into. It's super weird. Most likely gifted. That's a good point. That's a good point. And he at least put minutes into it. Portal? You only have 18 minutes in Portal? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. One of the greatest games of all time. Grimlock, Sonic. He's got Stardew Valley, 10 minutes. He probably figured out that you could be gay. Railroad Tycoon. Okay, hold on. Is he one of the ones who's talked about Chrono Trigger being like one of the greatest games ever? He adds people so they gift him games. That's just why. Because then you have all of these that you've never touched, and it just makes you not look like a gamer. It makes you look fake as fuck. A tourist at best. No time in Arkham Knight. No time in Borderlands 2. Really? You got Company of Heroes. Another super good RTS, and you haven't put any time into it? Come on. I have 3 kids in a family, and I find time to put in at least a little bit of time gaming, right? Lately, he hasn't even played Darkest Dungeon. Come the fuck on. Oh my god. Oh, or you can't be fucking serious. You can't be serious with this shit. Never played Deep Rock Galactic. Another fun game with friends. I mean, he may have played Doom in the past, but if you're gonna get him, No Time in Dragon's Dogma. You got 36 hours in Company of Heroes. I liked it, but back when I played, it was laptop, couldn't run it well. That's fair. It was me and a buddy used to play it all the time, man. We would do a team match and be the Germans. And I'd usually go and start setting up tons of wire and defensive positions. And he would just build up in the background to getting the Tiger tank. And all I had to do, I was going to lose. Have I ever played Majesty? Yes. Me and my sister used to play the shit out of Majesty. That was such a good game. The German tanks were OP. So I might get pushed back a little bit or I might get pushed back a lot. It really depended on how good the other two players were. But by the time they got any closer to taking anything, he would just roll forward with like a couple of tigers, and it was game. I loved it. But yeah, I played the shit out of Majesty. Majesty was such a good game. Guilty Gear. Look at all these unplayed games. So he has a list of 700 games. That's why he has so many, is they're gifted to him. But he's barely played, a small percentage of them. He hasn't played but more than like 100, 200 games. And I guarantee you, these ones that have the most hours are probably his kids. I don't see him being a Rocket League player. And this just show me that it's his kids. Anyway, off the beaten path. Now we have to listen to his voice. And of course, I deleted it again. Let's listen to some Smash JT. Playlists.
This comes to us from
There we go.
Who says, so the PR storm is out.
He gets the games gifted. I'm an impulse buyer. We are not the same. True. I stack my wish list. And then when I get to a Steam summer sale, I'm like, ooh, pick up this. I also am an impulse buyer. Chronos was an impulse buy. So yeah. So, let's get me to that full
I'm honestly shocked
100.
it's happening so fast, but the level of its nonsense we are seeing is through the roof. This is the article that is currently being.
They're trying to pretend too. This is something I didn't think about. That this is the same level as like Veilguard. Like there was a lot of controversy on both sides during Veilguard, but this is not it. This is next to no one saying this.
Around right now, trying
okay,
to
hold on. I
quickly shift
cannot.
the narrative of Yotei in its favor as soon as possible.
Nope.
They claim the game has sold over 1 million copies. Conveniently, just quote unquote barely.
Where is it?
Tsushima's original number.
There it is. Jesus.
In this article,
speed this man up.
More than Tsushima, and that quote unquote community sentiment is strong. Essentially, who is the source for this information? A random tweet from an account with less than 10,000 followers. I looked it up. It's just over 9,000 followers. They wrote an entire article saying 1 million copies sold, reportedly faster than Ghost of Tsushima. And their source is this dude right here, Millie A. Hearing 1.3 million sold on first day of Yotei, ever so slightly ahead of Tsushima's first 24 hours of 1.25 million. Tsushima kept pace on its second day with another 1.15 million sold. Can Yotei keep up? And this is the account of the person. 9,163 followers. Working within the entertainment.
Here's another thing too. They do this the amount of followers you have matters to how right you are, and it just doesn't. It's I'm big channel, hear me roar. I'm right because I say I'm right.
Entertainment and sports industry. Stats crazy. Oh, okay. Where are these numbers coming from? Your ass? Hearing from where or who? You give no source. I'm hearing they sold less than 13,000 copies. My source, same as yours. Empty.
And this is another thing they just do. They just go in and read comments. Like, this is not commentary. This is not good commentary. Talk about it. Talk about the news article. You haven't even brought it up yet. Don't just read fucking tweets from shitters.
Words on a tweet. Source? No, you're not. You're making up this number. Source, please.
Yeah, must have got it from a trusted, certified Smash JT insider. True, Kimoji. So true.
There are people that just fall right for it. This is the win. It's like, oh, the guy just threw a random number out. Let's go. The game we needed this year. Is he going to say fire? Let's go.
Oh, look. It's a 251 account that's just saying that. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of discourse around this game.
What a bot.
I say this being like a 320 follower account.
What that is. Me when I lie to myself. Who the fuck are you? Source. If this is a good one here. If this was true, Sony would have said so. But here's the article. Ghost of Yotei has reportedly sold over 1 million copies, selling faster than Ghost of Tsushima. Talk about
At least he's going to read the article, but is he actually going to show the name of it?
being desperate for an article. You find a random Twitter account with under 10,000 followers, and you take that as the source of truth to write an entire article to run with a narrative. And look at the subheading here. Ghost of Yotei is already a massive success.
Take a look at under join our community. This news article has 32,000 followers on X. It has more fans on Facebook, but this is not a major news outlet. This is a little shitter account. I even typed it into Google. There were 2 gaming outlets that I've pretty much never heard of. This one and another one called like Gamer Radar or something along those lines.
Exclamation point.
It was the British version of a shitter account.
I don't know about you guys, but that certainly sounds like this is factual when you say that. Instead of saying could be, you say it is. That is a lie. Ghost of Yotei has already managed to sell over 1.3 million copies on its first day. No, it hasn't. What's your source? It has sold faster than Ghost of Tsushima, which sold around 1.25 million at its launch. The latest title has also received universal praise from both players and critics. No, it hasn't. Are you living under a rock? Critics, yes. Universal praise from critics, I'll give you. But from players, I've seen it all over the map. Some players praising the hell out of it. Others, no.
I haven't seen very many players saying bad things about Ghosts. I've seen a lot of anti-wokers doing their same little shills where they say the same thing over and over and over again. But I haven't seen like someone just come out and say the game is bad. Even amongst people who fight about games, I haven't seen anyone say that.
Despite all the controversy surrounding the game, Ghost of Yotei has come out on top. Look at it. I love how they take the perspective of this is, again, to remind everyone, this entire article is based off of a single tweet from a no-name account. It has come out on top and managed to garner a mostly positive reception from both players and critics. It is reportedly even doing well in the sales department. According to some new information source, Ghost of Yotei has already sold over 1 million copies on its first day. It is selling at a faster pace. No, it's not. You should say this means it would be reportedly selling fast. Not it is. This is, by the way, this is what happens. This is why games journalism is dying and why YouTubers are eating their lunch. Because I honestly wouldn't even put it past
YouTubers eating their lunch. I've said it once, I'll say it again. We gave up bad journalism for worse journalism. YouTubers talking about gaming news has become absolute shit. You have the big guys who are basically shills for the games and won't say anything bad about certain games, or at least they'll be as light as they can because they know they'll get criticism for it, because they want to have the same access that everyone else gets, and they know that that'll stop if it goes away. And then you have Smash JT, which might as well be that newsstand fucking tabloid talking about a celebrity going to outer space or proven to be an alien. It's fucking why Smash says source like an editor or like a Redditor, right? What I think is funny is 95% of the time I see people rip on Yotei, they are making fun of it and criticizing something Tsushima also did or had. Yeah, the Grums one where they was like, yeah, what's with this cutting bamboo? And I was like, you didn't play the first game at all. Yeah, it just became the next TMZ, 100%. Oh, man. And it's just worse for everybody because nothing is... Literally, it's becoming to the point that nothing is true on the internet.
Ask this guy, if it even is a real person, that this company took this tweet, threw it into ChatGPT, and said, write me an entire article based off of these 2 sentences, and just posted this article. Because they knew it would get clicks and attention, and people, the Sony ponies, would be running with it and using this as their source.
Funny thing is Smash knows all about setting a narrative for attention.
To be like, see, you're an idiot for even doubting this game. Look, it sold over 1.3 million units. My source, this random guy. His source, who the fuck cares? According to Inside, oh, he's an insider. Okay, he's an insider, guys. Hey, I guess, well, I was gonna say jokingly, I'm an insider, but I guess in a way I kind of am an insider. But I don't even call myself an insider. Like, what the hell? Ghost of Yotei on its first day sold 1.3 million copies, while Tsushima sold 1.25. Isn't that convenient? Like Hypnotic was saying, isn't that convenient? The number that this guy just pulled out of his ass just conveniently is just barely over Ghost of Tsushima.
What's funny about this is the next day when this article came out, let's see where it is. Does he not? We'll just use this one as an example. Our buddy Gay Viper. Why do you keep doing that? Our buddy Gay Viper made a prediction that it would do between 1.3 and 1.8, which is a pretty darn large gap to set yourself for. It was also the next day after that article saying 1.3. So I called him out on it. Now he says, I pulled more data. Trust me, bro. From a fucking shitter account with 8,000 followers. Trust me, bro. Today's numbers are looking very similar. Where are you getting this, Gay Viper? Fighting the gaming culture war, follow to join, extremely good. You made it the fuck up. These two things are the same picture.
Which puts it ahead of its predecessor. It will be seen whether it can keep up in the long run. As of 2024, Ghost of Tsushima has sold over 13 million copies, which is a decent number. A decent? Dude, this article is straight up ChatGPT. 13 million copies is now decent? In what world is 13 million copies sold decent? This comes to us from Hypnotic.
Whoops.
Says,
what is he? Is he? Mm-hmm.
Decent.
Is
that's an insane amount for a single player title. That's an insane amount of sales for a single player console exclusive.
Okay.
Wow. But in that time frame, it also released on PC. The general response towards Yote is more positive. Source hinting at good things to come. Talk about.
You're just trying to get me to dox you so you can put it all over X again, aren't you, Damaged?
It's happening all over again.
Or to leak. I would never dox you. Give me money. Oh no. What is this? He just put this out. Because Ghost of Yotai has been conscripted into the culture war, it seems people are attacking and defending it based on the side they're on rather than the merits of the game. Tiresome and exhausting, especially when the majority of controversy isn't even from the game. Wow. Riveting fucking commentary from Asmongold. Like, make up your fucking mind. Oh. Mighty Keef is a goof. Did he say something about Mighty Keef? Oh, do I have to watch? All right, I'm done watching Smash. Let's see what this is.
I am Mighty Keef. It's a new AAA release, everyone. And so, of course, like routine, like pattern, like habit, when a new AAA game comes out, there's always got to be some controversy.
Again, I'm going to shill again. If you like the stream, please like it. It helps me out in the algorithm, gets me moving. And of course, I am only 8 away from 100, my first big goal on the channel. So if you like what you see, subscribe, hit that bell. I try and get on about 4 times a week as, things happen. I swear to God that Asmon is a talking, walking contradiction. Yeah, well, it's so audience captured, he'll change his mind based on anything. Like this right here. Oh, where did it? Yeah. This right here is some of his, like, maybe his actual thoughts pouring through. Because this is a lot of the ways he used to talk before everything else happened. Before he went political. But now, we've got what we got.
Let me give a little bit of context to people who are not habitually online like myself and many others. Ghost of Yote gets announced, I think, about a year ago, right? Cool. Everyone's like, yeah, oh my God. New Ghost of Tsushima. Is it a sequel? What is it? Is it a prequel? What is it? We found out it's set 300 years after the first game. Jin is long gone. It is a new protagonist. She's female. Of course, that's going to start to stir up something. Of course, some people just wanted to play as Jin, right? And that's fair, by the way. I think that's completely fair. I would love to play a sequel with Jin in it. Realistically, it wouldn't make much sense. The Mongols, after the events of what happened in Jin Sakai's story, the Mongols came and killed everyone. They wiped out almost everyone on that island. like everyone on that island. I went to Japan actually this April. It was amazing, right? And I actually wanted to go to the island of Tsushima. It's like a little ferry you take. In April, I went to Japan, and I actually wanted to check out Tsushima, right? Because I loved Ghost of Tsushima so much.
Okay, you gotta get a little bit better at cutting there, bud. But yeah, it's a lot of the gamers don't really care about, or a lot of these people who are complaining about it really don't understand why Ghost of Tsushima was good. And a big portion of that was in Japan was the historical side of it. It was a war that doesn't make a lot of Western headlines or storytelling or anything like that.
I couldn't, unfortunately. It was just way out of the way of the other plants and everything. But I came to find out even today, there's just not that many people. I think they have a total of like 20,000 or 30,000 people in total on the entire island. Right now, of course, that, right? Like the unfortunate.
All right, you should have cut that out.
Kind of just did their thing. So the fictional character Jin would have met his end to the Mongols, right? But fast forward, a year later, earlier, Charlie Kirk was, I don't know what word I can say because I never do politics on YouTube. So I don't know what word's gonna just instantly make this video demonetized or not.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know what happened to Charlie Kirk. All right, and then
Jesus Christ,
who apparently worked at Sucker Punch, a joke said, "Hope the shooter's name is Mario so that Luigi knows his bro got his back." Now, if you want me to be completely honest, I don't like stuff like this. I don't. I did not like Charlie Kirk. I didn't. I did not agree with a lot of stuff he does. I have my own reasons.
Okay, weren't we talking about Ghost of Tsushima? I could give a fuck about Charlie Kirk.
As to why, and I didn't want to get into it. But
I guess he's going over the controversy of it.
You're able to dislike someone, and you're able to like someone based off that, and that should be okay. People shouldn't force you to like someone or dislike somebody. But I think that making fun of somebody's passing is not really. I'm not into that. I'm not in that camp.
Sure, you can be not in that camp. I think it can be funny.
Wishing death on somebody, et cetera, et cetera.
I don't wish death on people, but I can see the funny behind it, especially for someone that I don't really care about either way. I didn't give a shit about Charlie Kirk before he was assassinated. I don't care much about him after he was assassinated, right? I can still say what happened in between is horrible, but otherwise, I don't give a shit. Oh, it has fried so many fucking brains. You've really seen how strong people will sit with their ideals.
I just don't think that's good. You could not care, right? You could not like somebody and not really be sympathetic to what happened, but you going out of your way in like aggressively making fun of what happened is a completely different conversation, and that I don't think that's good. That's just throwing that out there. But y'all already know that. I'm very vocal on Twitter. Y'all already know. But this person made a joke about Charlie Kirk's death, and of course that ran rampant, right? Because of course he had Kirk had a big following. He was a huge political influencer, and people, obviously people who are heavily religious liked him. But it was a huge backlash, right? And so people took this and kind of latched her opinions on the gaming company's opinions. And y'all know how I am with that. right? I made a huge Hogwarts Legacy video. I got attacked by people from the left. I got attacked by people from the right. But it was a huge. I don't even know how many views it has right now. But I made it a long time ago, which pretty much echoes the same sentiments I have right now, which is like, purchasing this product does not mean you are like. It doesn't mean that you also believe the things that these people believe. Whatever the person, like, if I buy an.
Okay, this is going to be a defense of the anti-wokers here, but I don't remember any of them saying that if you buy this game, that it was that you're supporting Charlie Kirk's murder, right? They were saying that, yeah, that, you know, she's an Antifa bitch, blah 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 blah. But they didn't direct, like they said, they may say things like you shouldn't buy the game, but I don't remember anybody saying that you're condoning it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't see that. I watch a lot of the anti-wokers, and I didn't see any of that. Good point on bringing up Hogwarts Legacy. It's the same thing, but worse. I actually think Hogwarts Legacy was, well, no, it's actually, yeah, I would agree with you. Both sides made lists to try and get after people. The anti-wokers specifically went after jobs and things like that. So yeah, okay.
iPhone. I don't believe in anything that Steve Jobs believes in. It just means I wanted an iPhone at that time, right? But hey, listen, ethical purchases, that's a whole different debate. But anyways, this happened, and of course, she got fired. Sucker Punch realized, said, hey, it's not fun to make light of stuff like that. She got canned for it. So you would think, okay, well, the person who said the terrible things got fired, and now, everything's good to go. Wrong. What this essentially did was open the gates for the people who wanted to make a political statement but couldn't, because you can't just go off of, oh, it's a female.
Grums did say on one of his tweets about silence and chilling is agreeing with what happened to Charlie. Oh, yeah, but that's Grums. He's done that shit over and over and over again, right? I mean, if you're going off of Grums, yeah, I guess, but he's a complete retard that no one should listen to anyway.
Protagonist, I don't want to play it. You can't do that. You got to mask it as something else, right? And so what this did was create a very good opportunity for the people who weren't going to buy the game anyway to go and say now, hey, it is now unethical to buy the game because she made fun of Charlie Kirk, right? And that's kind of like the controversy that's been going on right now. I don't believe in that. I didn't believe in that when Hogwarts Legacy came out and the J.K. Rowling stuff. I didn't believe that at all, ever. And I don't believe it here, right? But that's kind of what is going on. And when that type of conversation happens, it's going to start producing a whole bunch of disingenuous side conversations about the product, right? Oh, this game is bad because it does this, because it does this, because it does this. But in reality, it's just that they don't like that the developer who was fired said something bad about Charlie Kirk.
So, no. Charlie Kirk they used as a weapon against the game, but they've been trying to hype up and find hypocrisies for this game for the last year, right? This is just a normal cycle of the anti-woker. Find something to talk about, call the game woke, say the devs are woke. Charlie Kirk was just another way for them to do it. And they weren't hiding their politics in any way, shape, or form. They were just dancing his corpse around to their fans to prove that their point is right. And now they're trying to do the same thing, but they have nothing to grip onto, and they look retarded doing it. So I don't agree with this point here.
So let's go into some of the things that I deem very disingenuous. Oh, and this as well. The lead actress, right, is Antifa. And for those who don't know, it means like anti-fascist, right? Trump has recently considered that I don't even know if I can say this word on YouTube, whatever, terrorist group. Okay? Now, this was in 2020. You could make the argument it wasn't a terrorist group back then. But no, and seriously, that's obviously a joke. Seriously, they are angry at this woman as well. Now, has she herself done anything, like been in any protests or damage any buildings or doing any of that? I don't think. I have not heard of her doing anything like that.
I've said it once. Kirk lived his life as a tool and was being used in death as a tool. Yeah, I agree. Very much so. But I mean, that's the life he chose to live. He didn't deserve to get killed over it, but yeah, I agree. He was a political tool. I mean, he was so interconnected with Trump, the Trump administration as a whole. Could he actually say something outside of their talking points? I really don't know.
It just seems like something she said with her about her wife in 2020, and so people were not happy about that. All right, so now you have two things: you have the Charlie Kirk incident, and then you have her saying she's Antifa, and so anyone who is
This is to me her going back, them going back and finding her tweet from 2020 is the same thing as going back 10 years or so and finding someone saying a slur. It's like that level of just nonsense.
against like that political alignment now gets a chance to feel vindicated and say, okay, now you can't buy this game, right? We're gonna boycott this game. We're gonna boycott it. But yeah, I wanted to go down with some things that I thought were a little crazy. I noticed this was funny, right? This was funny. This person basically is said that in 2020, well, not this person right here. They're getting, they're roasting the person they quoted, right? Who's getting obliterated, by the way, absolutely obliterated. But basically said, ain't no way I'm being punked, right? No way it's a $750 console, AAA $70 game, and your character roll in a body of water and not get wet. All right, so clearly this is just like one of those comments that's just like, okay, you're not really being genuine. Like this doesn't matter to the global, like to the entirety of the game. This is very insignificant, right? And of course, you got people absolutely just dogpiling at this person because this wasn't a real complaint. This was a complaint to.
Well, this is I don't know who that channel is. So I don't know if they're under the anti-woker group or anything like that. But yeah, there's nitpicking and stuff like that. Though let's go back a little bit. At hard 8 times. At hard 8 times. Close. This could be his genuine opinion, right? There's a lot of people who are like, the game should be progressing. Why isn't something like you getting wet when rolling in water happening? There he is. There they are. AGS Live founder. YouTubers call in talk show. Debate me. Crowd on YouTube any Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. The truth of YouTube and Twitter. For this. He wasn't getting the games over politics. I mean, this guy could be genuine. Take a look here. So this is the channel, right? Hard 8. Ghosts of Yotai. This cocksucker made a 5-hour live stream claiming that he wasn't getting the game over politics. Welp, most of these gamers ain't shit but lying, hypocritical F-slur. Ghosts of Yotai is one of the best looking games I've ever seen. Playing it on the Trace, blah, 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 blah. Let's see what else he says down here. AAA game with fish spawning out of thin air. Okay, so that's a nitpick. Is that all he does? What is this? What the fuck? Was on my way to do a mission, but somehow I ended up on top of a mountain. Okay. But it's Battlefield. Yeah, I mean, Our improved gameplay. I don't even know what this. And he seems like a fairly normal account. It looks like he has some gripes, but this doesn't look like some anti-woker account. Like every game everybody else, like all year, but wanted to be different when it comes to the actual banger. Battlefield 6. I don't know. This doesn't seem like he's using a good source for his point. Yeah, this is the nitpicking that they're doing, but you can find a better source of somebody than this. I'm not really convinced that this guy is an anti-woker trying to make the game look bad. May actually just be his opinion.
This is very insignificant, right? And of course, you got people absolutely just dogpiling at this person because this wasn't a real complaint. This was a complaint to either farm engagement, or maybe this is again this.
That could be a thing too. It could be farming engagement.
But
again, why are we showing this and not like the anti-wokers that are pushing the message?
Remember, this is a PS5 exclusive, meaning anyone who dislikes Sony or anyone who likes another console will do everything they can to try to make this look bad, right? The console warriors, by the way, that doesn't mean like if you're just a fan of Nintendo or just a fan of Xbox, you would do something like that. I'm talking about the like radicals, right? The radicals. But thankfully, everyone's just absolutely shitting on this person. But this right here was a little strange, right? So I have no idea who this is, by the way, prior to this. And by the way, this isn't anything to like Ghost and hate or anything like that. Like, I don't know this person. But basically it said played 4 hours of Ghost of Yote. The game is aggressively mid. You're welcome to think that, by the way. Anyone is welcome to think that.
Why do you keep saying that? Just read the fucking article.
Story is all right. Nothing outstanding so far. Average revenge plot. Again, all this is valid. You can
I agree, Damage Sector. You can definitely say that's something stupid, especially when you're talking about AAA quality game. Like, I guess there has been talks about like the game staying under budget. So, and that's where I say that account isn't proof of what Mighty Keith is trying to say. If he wants to, it's like, is he afraid to pull up these other guys' accounts and talk about the actual problems, the actual brain dead takes? Or is he just pulling up these random people? Now, any of my anime fans, Simon, if you're still in here, do you know who the fuck this is? Kitsu?
This is all Val. The combat wants to be a duel where you are able to strike, block, parry, can learn even more things throughout the game. You can duel katanas very early on with an option to swap between both. Yep, that's all.
Oh, did they in fact get wet? I'll have to go look at that.
But the game forces you, I think they meant switch weapons, but the game forces you to switch weapons to use against which enemy, forces you which weapon to use against each enemy. Solo blade against katana, blah, 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 blah. So this, I don't know if the person played the original Ghost of Tsushima, but this is essentially what you had to do in the first game. The first game
was it? I hadn't gotten very far in Ghost of Tsushima. It's on my playlist. I remember more forms than actual like weapons changes. Am I off base there? Like, I know you could have the the ranged weapons, but I'm pretty sure the game was still more about your forms. This form for that one. I haven't checked clips. I just figured people wouldn't lie about something if it's obvious lie. You can discover the clips. Yeah, I mean Ghost of Tsushima only focused on stances. So Mighty Keith is just fucking wrong here. Hell, she also has you blocked. Simon, who doesn't though, right? Every time you make a comment, I almost want to block you sometimes. You have two different bows. That's it. Yeah, it's two different bows and its particular stances. Some stances were for heavier enemies, some for ranged, some for light. So he's just wrong here.
You only played with one weapon. It was just a katana.
Okay, he just said it. Maybe I clamped him.
But you had stances, right? So you had different stances beat other stances, right? That was like the rock, paper, scissors. In this game, it was already told in the reveal trailer or the deep dive, whatever you want to say, that's what's going to come back. But instead of stances, it is now weapons, right? The weapons are essentially the stances, and you're getting additional.
I'm not reading ahead because I'm wanting him to read it and go through it, but like to me, this could be a valid criticism, right? I actually preferred the stances in Ghost of Tsushima, what I've played of it, because it makes it like the lone samurai with his katana going across the place killing people. I don't want to have to pick up a different weapon. Now, I know next to nothing about Ghosts of Yotai, because I've only seen clips in gameplay. But if this is true, they change it to weapons, then I could see having a problem with that. I don't want to have to switch to a heavy weapon to fight. I generally like just playing with a katana.
So each weapon will have their own.
By the way, we're shilling again. If you haven't liked the stream, please like the stream. It helps me get into the algorithm and a little bit bigger. If you enjoy what we're talking about, go ahead and subscribe. I am 8 away from reaching my first 100 goal, and Damage Sector wants me to get monetized so he can give me all his money.
Unique moveset, but they're also going to be able to beat others. Katanas lose to I don't even remember. Dual katanas, beat spears. Spears beat regular katana, so on and so forth, right? And you have like I think 5 or 6 weapons. Okay, so this is like something that's integral to the game. That's part of the game loop. If you do not like that, then it's not the game being bad. You simply just don't like the game.
Well, it could be bad to you, right? If your favorite mechanic was the stances and they took that away to add in weapons that you didn't want to play with, yeah, you consider that a bad feature change.
Because that's part of the game, right? It would be like if I were to fire up Pokemon and you said, I'm not really a fan of.
I can see both sides of this one. A highly trained samurai would use different styles to combat different enemies, while someone skilled with different weapons would use what's best. That's true, and that's not a bad argument you can make towards it, right? Me personally, again, I prefer the katana style. I don't know the backstory of the main character either, whether she is one of the samurai or whether she's, I don't know, a peasant girl boss who is going to kill everyone.
Being able to catch monsters, right? It's like, well, that's part of the game. You simply just don't like Pokemon, which is fine, but don't say the game is bad because of that. Pokemon's bad for other reasons. But anyways, the game was way too many gimmicks and mini games. Okay, again, this is like that's seemingly only there to show you what your PS5 controller can do and artificially time you spend. Okay, so this again was in the first game, right? There was a lot of times where you'd use DualSense, and I don't understand how this is even a negative. You spent $80 for a PS5 controller, and almost no PS5 games take advantage of it. Now you have a game that actually, makes you, well, not even makes you, because you can skip all of this, by the way. You can you have a game now that allows you to engage with the $80.
People were getting mad at the mini games and control features. He's not wrong here. Yeah, he sounds a little PlayStation-y on it, but there were many games in the future, right? They're in the last game, So yeah, to me, this is a dumb point. It's probably the dumbest point I've heard from all of them. The quality of the mini games is what matters, right? I remember how lacking the PS4 motion controller was, never explored. I never cared. I gave up PlayStations. I'm PC Master Race, the best way to game. Sorry.
Controller you spent, right? You can actually finally utilize the reason why it's so much money, and they're saying that's a negative. I mean, it is nowhere even near that amount of time for it to be an artificial inflate the time you spend. No, there is so much time you spend actually just doing story and combat. The mini games are very gimmicky. Excuse me, not gimmicky, but very. You don't spend that much time doing them. Okay, instead of feeling immersed.
Well, it's something extra to move you off of a game. Like this is not a new concept of mini games in there. Sometimes you just like want to get off the beaten path and try something new. There are gamers who love to, you know, unlock everything, and mini games allow them to get achievements and stuff like that, or even maybe some kind of special item or special tag or special piece of clothing, things like that. So mini games this is the first time that I've ever heard of like mini games as a concept being a bad thing. I've heard of mini game types being bad because they're just, useless. They're not fun to play. They're just there to waste time, right?
First, it's unnecessary and literal waste of time. Again, this is just, I mean, you can have this opinion, right? But this right here, these lines are just objectively wrong. Like these are just, this is not. Now this is an opinion. If you feel like if you feel like it's unnecessary, that's completely fine.
Correct. Yeah. Games having side activities is now bad. But I get that, Damage Sector, where you're saying like sometimes you get annoyed having to be forced to do a mini game through an entire playthrough, especially like pointless ones like cooking. Yeah, I think the cooking mechanic has been shit for a long time, though I have played a few games recently where the cooking mechanic is more relevant. You want to talk about like an interesting cooking mechanic? Go look at Caves of Cud. It literally will give you mutations and superpowers to cook. It's become part of the game. The mouse one at least gives you buffs, but we'll see how it's actually done. A lot of times it is probably one of the more boring mechanics.
But this line right here, these two are just wrong. For example, when camping in the open world, you have to start up your own fire by swiping up many times and hitting R2 and over again. Yeah, but you can also skip that, right? You don't have to do that. That's something you choose to do. So again, I don't know. This type of stuff isn't, But again, like I said, this was me explaining.
Yeah, Final Fantasy gives you perks.
Again, up until right now, I'm still like, okay, well, this is a person that's just, they just don't like the game, and that's fine. Then you go down.
Dude, I remember playing, like, you talk about like Final Fantasy 7 had, mini games in it that you could play. I remember like constantly trying to get the gold chocobo set up and doing the chocobo races. In was it 10 where you played the water ball and the sphere? I didn't get hardly anywhere in that game because I couldn't stop playing the water ball. So, I mean, some of them can be good. Most of them can be good. It's all how they're done. Like any game mechanic, it's how it's put together.
And you see that they say something about, there it is right there. $80 for this, a waste of time. Do not spend your money on this. Don't even buy it on sale. Just replay the original. Now,
At Wargaming Dad, to clarify, I don't hate them entirely. It's just the force aspect that I find annoyed. I'd personally try out and mess with the cooking in Yotai, but I would definitely skip it eventually. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. That's what I pretty much thought you were going with. Like there are, when I was playing the, what was that game called? Fuck me, I hate myself sometimes. Winter Hollow or whatever they called it. The food mechanic to me wasn't like a waste of time or it wasn't like such a burdening mechanic that I felt like I had to constantly do that instead of anything else. Where I've played other games that have that kind of survival mechanic, and I generally like those, where like food and water is just so much of a pain in the ass in the beginning of the game. I don't want to play any farther. There's a balance to all of it.
Red flags kind of come into my head because it's like most, if not all of the issues she has with the second one are already in the first game.
Yeah, but you're already fucking wrong here. Yes, essentially the solo blade, the dual blades, and the spear is the same mechanic, but someone would prefer, like, I'm a big guy on aesthetics. I play a lot of board games. The number one board game in is generally the bird one where you collect eggs. I won't play that game, even if it's a good game, for that same very reason. Like it's the aesthetic of the game plays it. I played other games that were fairly similar to it, but it was like the aesthetic of it that brought me in. So if you like the idea of being the lone samurai, only using your katana and a bow, that's the romanticized samurai, right? The more realistic take is, yes, samurai used a variety of weapons for it. So like the first one, I think his take is brain dead. The second part, I agree with for the most part.
So it's strange. It's just strange that you would say that, right? Because this also implies that you played the first game, right? Because if you didn't play the first game, why would you tell people to just play the original instead of this game? It's just not the whole thing.
Because sometimes the original is better, and if the second one is shit, go enjoy the first one again because it's what you wanted. I enjoy when gamers allow you to skip mini games. Best example I can give it is how Nightmare Reaper lets you pretty much skip all of the skill trees mini games. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like if it's it's like the easy mode argument. I don't care if easy mode is on there for the most part because I probably won't play with it. However, I also don't care if the company designed the game that way for you to use it. It's all about taste and how the game plays, right? If it's a survival game and the mini games you use to cook and do stuff like that are skippable, I think that might be a different situation for me because part of it is that idea of doing those mini games to cook the food and everything else.
This rose so many flags, and I'm gonna see if I can find it. But someone actually just linked me a video that showed her actually saying she never played the first Ghost of Tsushima.
That'd be funny.
It's strange that you're saying to play the first game and not the second, and the reasons are because of essentially the same things that are present in the first game. So you see what I mean by like kind of like it seems a little disingenuous. But again, this is just one.
But you're gonna have to show me where she said that first before I'll make a decision. But if she did, then yeah.
Later on, somewhere in here, she does go off and talk about how the game is AAA slop, and so now you kind of start to break down. Okay, so it wasn't real.
Yeah, Damage Sector. It really depends on the game. It's like it's the same argument. Souls-likes are meant to be these super difficult games. Why do they need to be forced to put in an easy mode for people? It's just brain dead to me.
Say like if you don't like Ghost of Tsushima, that's fine. Calling it AAA slop is a little maybe there's something else hidden in there. Okay, yeah, here it is.
Oh, I'm already dead. Great. Oh, damn.
Skill issue.
I never finished Ghost of Tsushima. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't play Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay. Well, there it is. Didn't play the fucking game, but telling you to go play the original. How does she know the first one is even good?
Play Ghost of Tsushima, but they're telling other people to go replay Ghost of Tsushima. And the reason is because of the same combat structure and PlayStation controller gimmicks, which are present in the first one. So I'm like, well, then that doesn't make any sense, right? So what's the real reason why you don't like this game? But yeah, moving on. This one is also somebody just dumpstering on Grumps, which is, bro, if y'all know, Grumps has been sailing off of the high of him working for Blizzard 30,000 years ago. That there are still people that legitimately think this dude plays. This guy does not play video games at all. he has a game that has been in production for like 9 years, taking over $500,000 from his fans. And I have my own gripes with that, but listen, he says, what the hell is up with these grass cutting, bamboo cutting, fish cooking mini games, everything again that was present in the first game. They got tried out like some kind of proof the game is awesome, blah 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 blah. Again, it was in the first game. I know for sure he didn't play the first game because he doesn't play games. But anyways, this guy said, tell me you didn't play nor know anything about Ghost of Tsushima while directly telling me. And yeah, he's getting absolutely dumpstered again.
I mean, Grums is such an easy target because Grums just doesn't have any idea what's going on in the gaming space. He's pretty much, my guess is he's completely been blacklisted, and probably a long time ago, right? Probably back when he did the bus is when he got ousted as being like a shit leader to not get hired.
Something that's not as funny. It's stuff like this, right? It's stuff like this. It's like, okay, this is getting like in like just like pathetic. This guy, Generic Eric, says, bro, using PSN profiles to make a point. Little does he know this site only tracks people who are willing to be tracked on that site. What a twit. And it's Smash JT. He's saying that, he's implying that because there's a low PSN profiles of Ghost of Tsushima, that equates to obviously like low sales, right? Because he's saying not off to the best start. But then he tries to say two conversations, which is, this thing's really bad, but I also don't know if it's really bad. So if it turns out to be good, you can't really, you can't really say I was wrong. Or him and a lot of people, like they do this twisting of words very often.
Yeah, he has blacklisted some people in the industry that were a part of Gamergate, ghosted him, which is the funniest part to me. Yeah, and God, I say it over and over and over again, but you can't not notice it. Is like, he was a nobody up until these guys, specifically these guys, became popular, about 2 years ago? With, Gamergate kind of, with the rise a little bit of the woke, and him going after, and this Smash going after Alyssa Mercante. But even then, it's a dying medium, and I don't believe most of these people are liked in any gaming space, right?
And so he essentially...
And as for what he's saying here, this is a common tactic that Smash and all of them do. They have to preface everything they say with something, so that if they are wrong, they can say, oh, well, I said it might not be. Well, why are you using bad info at all?
Says not off to the best start, implying that because it has low profiles on PSN, that's very bad for them, right? They're not off to a best start in sales, right? But then he also says, for full context, though, this number only represents a small percentage of actual buyers, but typically less than 1%. But when compared to the other titles, oof. So he's saying,
go further down.
Hey, again, the whole like, this is pretty bad for you guys, but also it could not be bad for you guys.
Go further down.
I think it's pretty bad. Oof. But if it ends up not being bad, I told y'all that it's possible it could not be bad.
Go further down.
These people are hilarious, man. But and then he tries to fight it and says, "Hey, I have full contacts and stuff like that." I believe he ended up.
Yeah, so he just did exactly what I said he was gonna do. Now you got to look at like just how brain dead this was. Let's see if I can find this post. Oh, hey, we need to do a checkup real quick. 80 off to the side. Ooh, still a 72,000. Sorry, bud. Looks like your trips are going to start getting cut short. Now, after being petty, I hate this. You realize not all Asian women look like the same Asian woman. Fucking dude. Still talking about Sweet Baby Inc. I need to convince oh God, did he really? If J Viper is right, then the ghosts are worse than I first imagined. Yeah. No. AI slop. AI slop. AI slop. This one was pretty much completely proven wrong. Where is that motherfucker? You're just scrolling with me. This is how this works. Okay, here it is. No. That's not it. God damn, how far was this thing? I gotta start saving these. Guns from the posters. Don't care. This was also another brain dead one. Judge the narrative. Judge the narrative. The quotation search. Yes, I know. I'm old and terrible. There we go. That's why I need all you youngsters. There's the memes. Oh well. Where did he delete it? Or did I pass it? Did he delete it or did I pass it? Groomers snubbed. Oh, he might have deleted it. Yeah, yes, you can. You can. Hold on. Let me jump in there. You can explain it to old man. Old man wargaming. Jump into waiting room and I'll get you. Oh, look at him. I chose not to support Antifa members. This guy is so fucking lame. Whenever you're ready, damaged. It's pretty much the end of the stream anyway. Bitbooks. Oh God, Gigabear. Gigabear has me blocked, I believe. Yep, he does, because he's a pussy. Oh, there you are. Boop. Yo, what's up, damaged?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, so what you do is you go to Smash's profile, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, where's the tweet at? Here it is. Are you on his profile?
Yeah.
All right, hit the search at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And then in quotations, put part of the post. Like put part of the text from the post inside the quotations. So like in that post, he says, not off to the best start. So if you just put in quotations, not off to the best, and then hit it, it'll find a post with that exact quote.
That makes sense.
Quotation marks.
And look, there it is.
All right, man. It'll help you find stuff really quickly in the future.
You will probably still have to remind me because I'll still scroll. But thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome, man. All right, I'm getting off here.
All right, brother. Where did he get? There was another one. Literally full context of my original tweet and the note. Maybe I was wrong because I remember him doing the math. Because he did this. And then there was like a little math thing for his prediction of how many people who had done it. Or was this in? So yeah, he looked like a dumbass with this. Yeah, so you can't teach an old pig new tricks. That's right. That's right. Pigs are smart. We pigs are smart and we can learn new things when we want to. Did I just delete Mighty Keef? I did just delete Mighty Keef. Oh God. There we go. We'll go back through about the other half with it.
Think it's pretty bad. Oof. But if it ends up not being bad, I told y'all that.
So I ended up looking dumb anyway because it wasn't there. Maybe it was on a different post, but I saw one where he was trying to add the numbers, or maybe it was someone else was trying to add the numbers and be like, oh, it's 1% of this, so it must be only like 40,000 sales.
Possibly would not be bad. These people are hilarious, man. But and then he tries to fight it and says, "Hey, I have full contacts and stuff like that." I believe he ended up getting community noted because they were like, "Yeah, buddy, this is." Well, actually, let's go to it because it kind of dang.
Hey, look, Mighty Keef, you need to go to the top.
I do not.
You need to go to the top and in quotations.
I don't have any ill will towards them, but I also will not be disrespected. So anytime they come after me, I will come after them. I can't find it now. So
yeah, but unfortunately, sometimes when you go after them, your takes aren't any better.
Basically, I actually took a picture of it. So it says PSN profiles focus on trophy hunters, so its statistics are based on the accounts registered on that site, not the entire PlayStation user base. PSN profiles should not be used as an indicator for sales.
Hey. If I scream loud enough, he can hear me.
The total number of registered users of PSN profiles is 670,000. So, like, that's it. That's the cap, 670,000.
Or maybe it was this one.
Literal zero correlation with the actual, like, who has bought the game. Yeah, I don't know. It was.
Yeah, the thing is everybody I see online that has said stuff, whether it's that one guy who says he's an insider, whether it's Smash JT doing this shit, whether it's Gay Viper saying that it's 1.3 million that just happened to happen right after the 1.3 million article came out, or it's anyone else, then there's just none of them are showing any kind of evidence that they're doing that. We're not going to hear anything about it until later down the road, especially not in the first couple of days.
That's so funny. And again, my point with this stuff is that instead of having a conversation about like the story, the characters, the combat, the environments, the pacing, stuff that's like important into the game and like a consumer's the reasons a person would purchase it. It devolves down to like the game is bad because of the voice actress politics, or the game is bad because of that person who said something terrible. And it's like, this is not stuff that what is happening, bro? It's not even about the game itself anymore. And that's the part of it that I just hate. And I've seen that happen over the past few years. Kind of the most recent thing is that Ghost of Yotei has reportedly sold over 1 million copies, selling faster than Ghost of Tsushima. This was sent out on the 3rd, 3 days ago. I want everyone to realize this is not real, right? This is not anyone from Sony. This is not anyone from Sucker Punch. This is a random Twitter user who, people say they've had information correct in the past. Again, when it comes to anything like that, no matter what, I don't ever actually listen to it. I'm only showing you this because this brought on other issues. But anyways, this person is saying this, and then it stems from this tweet where it says, hearing 1.3 million sold on the first day for Yotei.
Come on, bring him up and show him what the fool he is. I feel like you're scared to do that because they're going to come at you. Like, yes, this was Hypnotic. Hypnotic tried to use this dumb information to make it seem like gamers were lying. Hypnotic is an idiot who tries to twist the narrative so that he can feel like he was right.
Ever so slightly ahead of Tsushima. Again, this is not a person who who knows if that is true or not. This isn't something that's real. But anyways, that brought in a whole bunch of other stuff when it comes to like the sales numbers and what needs to be the sales numbers and what's this and what's that. And you saw more people who are against the game kind of going and trying to already like make excuses as to, oh well, what, it didn't sell 8 million copies, right? Like
He's talking about Andy Pants, and I don't think anyone believes Andy Pants anymore.
okay, like what is this guy's name? I forgot his name. It's one of those guys that Ackman destroyed in a debate a long time ago.
Come on, you can know it. Don't pretend you don't know who Andy Pants is. Everyone in the anti-woke space, in the culture war space, knows who Andy Pants is. Just, you don't have to talk like he's below you. Just say it. Andy Pants, the dumbest of the anti-wokers, said this dumb shit.
And he's just never recovered. This guy Andy Pants. All right, he says yikes is yo gay a flop. Like he's a 45-year-old man with like 12-year-old humor. Yo gay a flop. Monster Hunter Wild sold 8 million during the same time. I don't even want to get in how horrible of comparison it is to compare a 20-year. All right, I think Monster Hunter came out in like 2005. Monster Hunter Freedom came out in 2004. Okay, so a 21-year franchise, multiplayer, that gets released on every platform outside of the Switch because the Switch will explode. Right? I don't want to compare that to an exclusive of the second game in a series. Yeah, that's a console. I don't even want to get into how crazy of a comparison this is.
You know, a lot of this video is him not wanting to get into it when he should probably get the fuck into it. Yeah, let's talk about that. Every game has its own metric on what is considered for success by it. A lot of times for the development team, it's going to be the money they put in. How much money do they get out? AAAs are expecting a lot more. An indie dev company is expecting, to make their money back and hoping to get more, so that they can make another game. It's the anti-woke have this idea that it has to make so much to be considered a good game, and they have no metric to know what that is. They don't know who any of these companies are actually relying on for it. So get into that. Say something besides you don't want to get into it. That's the whole point of you pulling up this tweet. Andy Pants is misrepresenting how the game industry actually works, because Monster Hunter has grown into a huge fan base. They have grown into a monster. Probably because of it becoming more mainstream. Because me remembering back in the day, I don't even remember what Monster Hunter was. I never really played it, never did anything like that. The first Monster Hunter game that drew me in was the online one. And then I've played more since then. I haven't gone back and played any of the old ones, but yeah, you can't compare these two companies.
But I'm going to roast him anyway because I was right? So when you're right, you're right. And the reason why I said that is because I said I will bet any amount of money that if Ghost of Yotei is confirmed to sell on par or more than Ghost of Tsushima, these guys will try and spin it to be a negative somehow. Because they know the audience they cultivated is easily manipulated. And look at that. Just right on cue. Right on time. Yeah. So that is the reason why I brought that up. But recently, this guy Christopher Dring says the UK box launch, right? So physical copies of Ghost of Yotei is really, really good. It's number 1, which means it beat the second week of EA Sports FC 26, and sold. I have no idea how much FC sells.
Oh, hey, Legacy Killer is actually kind of making a good point here. Ghost of Yotei is doing 40% worse than Tsushima. People don't understand this industry. This is a box sales. Below Games Analyst says it's impressive because physical sales are non-existent these days. About 90% of sales are now digital. Times have changed, even from 2020 to now, which, yeah, I forget who posted this and tried to use it as some kind of dig, but it was Endymion. It was Endymion. And all I had to do, it took me 10 seconds to go to this Christopher Dring's tweet, look at the very next comment where someone asked him a question about it and proved him wrong.
I am not the biggest soccer guy. And almost sold 3 times what Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 did on Switch. I don't report on physical charts much these days, but I thought this was notable. Any comparison to Ghost of Tsushima possible? Thanks, Chris. It's down about 40%, but I still find it impressive. So, of course, the people that, again, want to spin the narrative are only going to see the 40% and say it's horrible, it's doing terrible. You got Michael, Legacy Killer HD, trying to explain that doesn't really mean anything because common sense would tell you most people get digital nowadays. It is 2025. It is completely different than 2020 when Ghost of Tsushima came out. Even then, like, physical was on the decline. But physical has just been on a decline for so long.
Since Steam and all of these other ones came out, yeah, it's been on the decline.
And he even brings up a chart and everything. And I mean, I'm not going to get into it. If you
God damn, this guy doesn't want to get into anything.
play video games in 2025, you should know that physical media has been on a decline. Like, that shouldn't even have to be explained. But yeah, that it's just another way, of course, and you'll have people that definitely took this upon themselves to, as you can see. Look, he said that's a huge drop. These big double-A titles are not selling them selling much the same as they did on PS4. And he said it's not. Like, it's not.
just straight up, that's the way to own them. It's not. I know what I'm talking about. Fuck off. I just realized that because I was part of the stream, it will likely be deleted. You're not wrong. I can't have you coming on here and teaching me shit about the internet. I knew it all along. You didn't teach me nothing. This will be removed.
Huge. Says it's time for Sony to reveal the official numbers to silence these grifters. Yeah, again, my whole point of this video was just that the conversation is so stupid. It's so silly, man. Look, if the game is bad, if Ghost of Yote is bad, that's completely fine. You are so... That is... I don't think anyone's going to get mad at you for not liking Ghost of Yote. When you say things that are disingenuous, though, that sparks the conversation that someone's going to have to, like, defend or argue, because it's like, okay, now you're just lying. If you don't like the characters because the story beats aren't great, that's completely fine. If you don't like the combat because the combat's just not for you, that's completely fine. If you don't like the open world, if you just don't like open world anymore, that's completely fine. The problem comes into play when you say things that aren't true and then claim the game is bad because of it, right? You didn't play the game, right? But you think the game is bad because these politics, because of all this and that. That's
well, this isn't. You can get into the politics side of it that happened with this specific game, and there's the politics around anti-woke and all that kind of stems with it. But this is. The tactics that the anti-woke used haven't changed. It was just easier back then because they could point to things that were woke in the game and make it and just say that was the reason the game failed, and then everyone would clap like seals, right? Concord's one of the biggest examples of that. They were able to just say that was woke because, well, there was a lot of woke shit in it. I don't even think half of them actually looked into it as much as I did on there, because there were some silly stories. But it's not a... But it's what's happened is their same method being used is... people are starting to realize it, right? I think it happened. I think they took a major hit with their credibility when it came to Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed sold well. It was proven to sell well. Assassin's Creed is a normie, casual gamer's game. It always has been, especially since COVID with Valhalla, right? They can't lie to their investors and say that the game is the second highest selling in the series and then just not make money and lie in their financial statements. So this is just them trying to do the same thing, but it's even worse because it's Ghost of Tsushima. There's more people talking about the fun that they're having in the game than there are anti-wokers who are trying to push whatever silly narrative. I mean, they're having to reach to the point that they're saying mini games are bad, or that the website that tracks stuff that only 1% of the fan base uses is proof that it's doing bad, or that Gay Viper saying numbers out of his ass is the game doing bad. It's losing more credibility on their side. And it's just going to probably dip their numbers again until the only thing they have left is the whales who are paying them money.
That's the part that gets me. And that's the stuff that I think is just so awful. Right. And it's not just exclusive to this game, by the way. It has been happening in the industry for so long. I want to say the past 4 years, maybe even 5 years is when I've really noticed it. Right.
So the woke ideals in gaming really started to gain traction around 2016. There was already talk about wokeism in games like Dragon Age Inquisition. Not that the game did have woke stuff in it, right? It had a trans character, though I don't remember seeing a lot of heat about that. I wasn't chronically online. I was watching stuff. I wasn't like partaking. I didn't have X or Twitter at that point. But there was the lead artist saying that he was going to make the game more left-wing politically. So it started around that time. Hope's been a cozy night. It has been. It's been interesting. There was a surgence of it in 2020 where you had a ton of people get into gaming. Now, the anti-wokers want to say that woke is why the games industry was failing, right? That's why they're having to get rid of all these people and stuff like that. But that's just not the case. They didn't predict. They thought the growth from 2020 and everyone being at home was going to stay. Yeah, there was another resurgence of kind of the woke agenda, but it got killed out pretty quick by anti-woke. And now we're stuck with anti-woke retards who will make up anything to try and take a game down that is widely loved. Like, why would you go after Ghosts of Yote with as little evidence of wokeness outside of the actor and the Charlie Kirk assassination, which has happened recently, right?
And I got into it probably 3 years ago because I'm seeing a lot of people that are just trying to hijack conversations, man, and just turn into some politics stuff when it's like, okay.
Well, you're deep in the culture war. It's kind of like one and the other. They're kind of like when you're in the culture war, it's always going to lean towards politics. It just went extreme with Charlie Kirk's death because that was an easy medium for them to throw in front of people to go after this game.
A lot of them said, hey, the industry did it first, right? Kotaku and all these other industries did it first. And in my head, I'm like, bro, this is 2025. They don't run shit anymore. They haven't in a long time, right? They don't control the media. A lot of this controls the media, us, right? A lot of,
and it's shit, just like it was back then when, the media outlets were making crazy, articles.
Content creators, you just going off on Twitter, someone could have 20 followers and make a viral tweet. You understand? Like that, like it's not one of these things where it's like,
I don't want to brag, but I've had one hit, 1 million likes. I'm just saying.
like IGN and Kotaku rule the whole media for gaming anymore. If IGN says something stupid, laugh at it and understand it's one studio. Who cares? That's not enough for you to be like, okay, well now let's all also start a whole disingenuous conversation about it. Like, bro, these guys, a lot of these media outlets have become laughable in like within the past half decade. So to pretend like that's the reason why you're going on some crusade to, I don't know, it just, none of it makes any sense. All of it just seems so stupid. And I really wish gaming could just get back to gaming. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, it can. If you just turn off X, none of this matters anymore. No one pays attention to it. No, you know, the normies who are playing don't have any idea about this anymore. Like the woke was in the news for quite a while, so it went mainstream, but a lot of it wasn't necessarily about gaming. It was about other things. Most people don't even know what Gamergate was, right? There's some areas where it hit the mainstream news, but no, most people don't care.
I shouldn't see anything about Charlie Kirk or anything in regards to Yotei's conversation, because they found out there was a problem. Sucker Punch got rid of the problem. Boom. Whatever. That's done. Right? Now, getting upset at what she said, that's fine. Whatever. You can get upset about that. That's not an issue. But saying like, okay, well, this company needs to tank for something that's not even like up to the company is like kind of crazy, bro. But yeah, man, that's about it. There is a ton of other stuff. I've already let this video go on way too long. There's a ton of other examples that I have. But again, none of these people I'm throwing like hate at. I'm just giving y'all an example.
I am. Throw that hate, baby. Let's go. If you make a stupid comment, I don't know. If you make a stupid comment, then yeah, I'll throw some freaking shade your way. I'll say something ridiculous, but I'm not going to do it without having something to stand back on, right? Sometimes it's just saying there is no information. Like you have absolutely no evidence. Show me the evidence. But I have some problems with the way he did this. I think he could have brought up some, like if you're going to talk about this culture war, I could have given a shit about that anime chick who said some stuff. Maybe she's just trying to get off of the hype. There's a lot of that going around, or get off of the rage to get views. There's a lot of that going around. But you could have focused on, like, you're willing to pull up Smash JT, pull up fucking Hypnotic and call him a freaking moron, because that's what he is. But otherwise, there's some good points in there to run with. But that is time, ladies and gentlemen. Would you be doing this if Yotei let you cook bacon? When it comes to being a pig, I will eat just about anything. So yeah, I would definitely cook bacon. I will be clear, I've never fed bacon to my pigs. They will never get bacon. A lot of meats aren't really good for pigs anyway in the long run. They'll eat them, but protein, their body can't handle protein like others can. But yes, I would cook me some bacon up. And that would be the only food I would cook the entire time, because bacon is delicious. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you for coming out. I'm going to start doing these videos again. I've kind of fallen off of, like, before you get off, can I ask you about owning a pig? Yeah, absolutely. Ask away. If anyone else has any questions about owning pigs or anything else you want to ask me related to this, go ahead. We can do a little talk down for a minute. But I want to start doing this again, because I like doing this. What can I say? Never mind. I will do it another time. All right. You know what? If you want, let's say if you're here Wednesday, when I get back on, you can come onto the channel and we can talk about pigs for a minute. I'm down with that. I'm going to pull up some videos tomorrow too on some of the anti-wokers, because I've said, like I'll watch, Sigma had mentioned me watching one of his videos about Endymion, so I wanted to watch that. It's been a while since I've really looked at anything on Endymion. but we can pull you in for maybe a little before we get into the meat section, and I can talk about my pigs and what it's like to have them. But anyway, guys, I want you to thank you for coming by. If you haven't liked the stream, please like the stream. It helps me out so much as I'm on my road to 100 and eventually to 500. So that'll get more eyes on it, of course, which means more people. If you like the stream, if you've liked the stream so far, or if you're just coming in and watching it to the end on the, rewatching it, subscribe, get me to that 100, because I never thought I would even get this far with people talking in the chat. So y'all have a wonderful night, guys. And I will see y'all on Wednesday. Send me any videos you have. I want to kind of get back into the anime stuff too. So give me some information on anime drama. I need to do some backtracking on what's been going on with Nire and some of the false allegations that were against her, and just see where her normal drama is. All right, guys. Y'all have a good evening.